Hello there! Hey guys, this is Amanda from the Buena Vida, and welcome to the video about ceremony. So quite simply, a very simple definition of a ceremony is an event that celebrates a passage of time, a person, an event, or even a historical significance. That's the kind of clear-cut definition. So in your own personal or religious or cultural tradition, you may have various kinds of ceremonies. The most common ones that most of us in the Western world know of would be something like a wedding or a graduation, a birth celebration, a baby shower, even a funeral or a death situation. And these are the most common ceremonies, even when, let's say, a sports ceremony, the Olympic ceremonies, getting a trophy. All of these are ceremonies, and it's just a time that we as humans set apart to get together, to acknowledge something important to us, or to work through something, or to heal something. There's so many different meanings and ways that we can use ceremony in our lives. So what is the purpose of a ceremony? So the purpose of a ceremony generally is to acknowledge or unite a certain group of people. So it can be to acknowledge, like we said before, a passing of time, an accomplishment, a transition in someone's life, or it can also be, the purpose can be to unite a group. So in what we do at the Buena Vida with our ceremonies is they're done in a group. They're done in a circular group, and the idea is to get our minds and our feelings kind of focused in a certain way so that whatever takes place in that group, there's a feeling of safety, a feeling of unity, so that people can go through whatever they need to go through in a safe place. So what does a ceremony feel like? This is a great question. This is something good to think about. So ceremonies can be anywhere from completely somber events to huge festivities and everything in between. So occasionally when we think of a plant medicine ceremony, there can be feelings that it might be a more somber event, a more serious event. Perhaps we hear the word healing, and healing can sound obviously like there's a problem or there's a wound or there's something that needs to be healed. And it's important to note in these ceremonies that they travel up and down through all the way from somber to completely joyful and celebratory. And a lot of those moments depend on the energy of the people. They depend on what we're focusing on in that moment. And they depend, of course, on the facilitators or the shamans or the leaders and how they're leading the group at that time. So when you think of a ceremony, a lot of times the word itself can bring up a feeling of seriousness, but they are not always serious, and they can really range. So the next question would be, what do we use for these plant medicine ceremonies? What denotes a ceremony? So generally, you're going to be sitting or standing in a circle. So the circle is a really great, beautiful symbol that shows that we're all equal. It's a way to not give any sort of authority over anyone else other than you. It's everybody is facing and sitting each other. A lot of times in the ceremonies that we use, which are generally have their roots in Native American and South Native American traditions, will be we will use sacred plants, sacred herbs, teas, tinctures, aromatherapy, water, all kinds of different things. And that's a part of the excitement. It's a part of the fun. A lot of herbs you may be familiar with would be clearing herbs like sage or cedar. There's also celebratory herbs and blessing herbs. And so those are some really wonderful things to look forward to in a ceremony that give it a really, not only do energetic work, but also give the moment a really special feeling and really denote certain parts of the ceremony based on what we're going to be using. Something else that we will be using for these ceremonies will be the use of an altar. So an altar is another word similar to a ceremony that when you first hear it, you may think, oh, an altar, like that sounds like something I saw in my church, or it sounds like something that, is at some sort of a religious festival. That may be something that you're familiar with, absolutely. An altar really could be something as simple as you may have one over your fireplace and where you put pictures of your family or special keepsakes or things that remind you of events that you really love. So an altar is a place where you can really focus and concentrate all of your energy and all of the things that are special to you in order to set the tone and the pace for the ceremony. So while you may have, for instance, stones or rocks or certain tinctures or herbs around your house, when you put them together onto an altar, you do it with purpose and intent, and it creates that space where everyone can look and see and come together and place their items in that specific place for everyone to view and for everyone to be aware of. So if you haven't done so, I would encourage you to create an altar for yourself at your home. It can be, like I said, with anything that is of significant value for you. Many times, the easiest way to create an altar would be to use some sort of an element from the 4 elements of the earth, which would be air, water, earth, and fire. Fire is a fun one. So if you haven't made an altar, you don't have to go through any special training. You can do it in your own room. It can be filled with people, pictures of people that mean a lot to you, a birthday card that you really loved, a special ring that you have, a special stone that you have, or a crystal. And it's a really beautiful way to focus energy and to have a place that you can do that around. It's very cool. All right, guys, that concludes this video introduction on ceremony. What we're going to do below is the next step is going to be a 10-minute meditation that I'm going to guide you through. So you can look below for that meditation. Just get in a comfortable place in your house or at work, wherever you may be. If you're out in nature, that's completely fine as well. And I'm going to guide you through this meditation that will introduce us to ceremony. After that, and throughout the day, if you have time, what you're going to do below is take your journal and answer the questions below about ceremony. So this is going to get you into a mind frame and get your feelings all together. Hopefully do it after your meditation where you're kind of in that clearer state of mind to be able to answer these questions. And very excited to have you. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the ceremonies.